Welcome to this short introduction to eStrum. Here we'll show you the first steps to order and set up your own trigger module. The easiest way is simply to use the reference design and let a PCB manufacturer build it for you. To do this, first go to the website eStrum.io. Find the section Download and click on the link PCB files. This will take you directly to the eStrum GitHub page with all the files you need to create the PCB. First, you need to download the Gerber file. It contains the layout of the board. If you want to assemble and solder the PCB yourself, this file is all you need for the ordering process. If you are not experienced in soldering or simply do not want to make the board yourself, I recommend having the board assembled directly by the manufacturer. For this, you will also need the BOM and CPL files from the same page. Now you have everything you need to order the board from the PCB manufacturer of your choice. Affordable and established manufacturers are JLC PCB and PCBWay, both located in China. If you prefer a European alternative, you might want to have a look at Eisler, but they are considerably more expensive. Since I already included the part numbers from JLC PCB in the BOM file, I will now show you how to order the board there. With other manufacturers, you will have to select the parts for your components yourself. To start the ordering process, go to JLC PCB website and click on Instant Quote. Now drag the downloaded Gerber file onto the button labeled Add Gerber file. You can leave all the settings to their defaults. Here you can see that the number of layers and the size of the board have already been read from the file. You should keep the default quantity of 5 boards since ordering fewer usually don't reduce the price. If you don't want a green board, you can choose another color. However, production for all colors except green takes 2 extra days. For the surface finish, I recommend changing the default to lead-free to avoid polluting the environment with lead. If you only want the PCB without assembly, you are done now and can save the order to your card. If you want the board assembled, check the box PCB assembly and click Next. If you already have a JLC PCB account, you can log in now. Otherwise, you need to create one first. Unfortunately, after logging in, the selected production time is reset to 2 days, even though the quicker 24-hour assembly costs the same. So set it back to 24 hours and click Next. You now see a preview of the board, which you can skip with Next. In the next step, upload the BOM file you downloaded earlier by drag and drop on the bottom Add BOM file. Then drag and drop the CPL file on the button Add CPL file. To confirm, click on Process BOM and CPL. You will now get a list of all components that will be placed on the PCB. The checkboxes in the Select column should be ticked for all parts. Sometimes a component might be out of stock. In this case, you need to try again later or replace it with another part. You can replace a part by clicking on the search icon in the corresponding components row. For replacing a part with another, you should have some knowledge of electronics to be able to find another component that is suitable. Now click Next again to go to the preview. Here you can check if all components are in the right place. If you notice that you don't want a part assembled or prefer to solder it yourself, you can go back and deselect it. For example, I will now remove the socket for the Raspberry Pi Pico and the optional 50-pin header in the middle of the board. You need to confirm a safety check that you really don't want to place these parts. In the preview, you now see that the 2 components are missing. However, I will undo the change, since I want all parts assembled. On the next page, you see the total price of the assembled board without shipping and taxes. There's also a breakdown of how the price is calculated. For correct tax estimation, you need to select a product description. Choose Electronic Musical Instrument. Then add the order to your cart. You will now be taken directly to your cart. Select your board and specify how many of your 5 boards should be assembled. Per board, it is always cheaper to assemble 5 instead of just 2. If you only want one board, you can join a group order via the eStorm discussion forum on GitHub. I will show you this page later. Now go to checkout and enter your shipping address. For shipping, I recommend Global Standard Direct Line or Europacket, although Europacket in Germany is only available for bare boards. Both options, production from the last few days is bundled into one large package for the destination country. On arrival, this package is split up into smaller ones and delivered to you. The advantage of these shipping methods is that JSC PCB usually handles customs clearance and answers questions from customs if documents are missing. With other shipping methods, this is not always the case. Even if it looks like global direct delivery will take longer, keep in mind that most of the shipping time is customs clearance, not the transport itself. Since this time is not included in the estimates of the more expensive shipping methods, they usually take about the same time. My orders have usually arrived after 2 weeks, with about 5 days spent waiting at German customs. Click Continue and choose your payment method. Don't forget to redeem one of the coupons. There is almost always a coupon available. As a new customer, you usually get an extra discount. Complete your order. Your board should arrive within 2 weeks.